The Warriors won the NBA Finals 2022 by 4-2. In celebration, thousands of fans lined downtown streets in San Francisco on Monday to catch a glimpse of their Warriors in a parade celebrating the franchise's fourth NBA title in the last 8 seasons and the first since 2018. So what were the major highlights of the finale? What were the X factors? And what's the future of the champion team? The 2022 NBA Finals was the championship series of the National Basketball Association's 2021-22 season and conclusion of the season's playoffs. In this best-of-7 playoff series, the Western Conference champion Golden State Warriors defeated the Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics in 6 games, winning their 4th championship in 8 years. The Warriors had home court advantage in the series, based on having the better regular season record. The Celtics won the opening game on the road and returned to Boston with the series tied 1-1. They won their first home game to take a 2-1 lead, but the Warriors won the next 3 games to take the series 4-2. Golden State won their first title since 2018 and their 7th championship overall. Boston remained tied with the Los Angeles Lakers for the most titles in league history with 17. The NBA Finals returned to its normal June schedule for the first time since 2019, before the COVID-19 pandemic began. The series started on June 2nd and concluded on June 16th. Sponsored by the streaming service YouTube TV, the series was officially known as the 2022 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV. This edition of the Finals was a rematch of the 1964 NBA Finals, in which the Celtics defeated the then San Francisco Warriors in 5 games. Look back at the Warriors' 22-point loss to the Boston Celtics on March 16 and it's clear who the X factor was. Celtics center Robert Williams had 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 blocks and was a +12. He was a defensive menace, blocking Jordan Poole twice, Otto Porter once, as well as Jonathan Kuminga. Even when the Warriors beat Boston by 4 points on December 17, Williams was a +9 with 7 points and 11 rebounds. But that was a different version of Williams. He underwent meniscus surgery in late March and hasn't been the same. Williams has been dealing with lingering issue in that surgically repaired knee and has missed 7 games this postseason, though he has played in the last 4. If he's healthy, he certainly could shift the series, but if not, a different Celtic might have that ability. Derek White was one of the most underrated acquisitions at the NBA trade deadline this year. The Celtics added the 6'4" guard for Romeo Langford, Josh Richardson, and draft picks, and he has been a difference maker for Boston when it counts. Steve Kerr coached White on Team USA in the 2019 FIBA World Cup and is well aware of what he brings to the table. "Yeah, I coached Derek to the World Cup a couple summers ago, so I know him pretty well," Kerr said Monday to reporters. Really good two-way player, combo guard. I think he added a lot to their team when he was traded there. That was a really good pickup for them. Another ball handler, another passer, another guy to help get them organized. And he's been playing a key role in the playoffs. He's had some really good games for them. White in the playoffs is averaging 8.1 points, 3.6 rebounds, and 2.8 assists per game, shooting 38% from the field and 27.6% on 3-pointers. However, he was a different player down the stretch of the Eastern Conference Finals. In the final 4 games against the Miami Heat, White averaged 14.3 points, 4.3 assists, and 3.8 rebounds. He also shot 45.5% from the field and 35% from long distance. As Kerr commented on, White isn't a one-dimensional player. Over his last 4 games, he also averaged 2 steals and 1 block. He had 3 steals in Game 4, 2 in Game 5, 3 again in Game 6, and then didn't record 1 in Game 7. He blocked 1 shot in each of the final 4 games. And what about the future of the champion team? The addition of young NBA prospects, potential contract extensions, and more key decisions for Golden State as it looks to ensure another championship run. Long before they doused each other with champagne over championship euphoria, Golden State Warriors general manager Bob Myers and coach Steve Kerr shared a few of their insecurities on whether that could even happen. As Kerr told Myers before the NBA playoffs started, "I don't know if this is a championship team. Forget the various NBA pundits who expressed doubt over the Warriors' ability to win their 4th NBA title in 8 years. Kerr conceded he envisioned the Warriors becoming a conference finalist, maybe not further than that. Amid overlapping injuries to their stars, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and mixed progress with the core's young players. We were laughing about that. We said, well, what do we know? Myers said now that they proved themselves wrong. We had a pretty high bar, I guess, for what we were comparing it to. That's because the Warriors could no longer lean on Kevin Durant to elevate them toward an NBA title, as he had twice in 3 straight finals appearances, 2017 to 2019. But unlike that pre-playoff conversation about potential, the franchise now appears more emboldened after winning its first NBA title since Durant's free agency departure 2019. My experience is when you win a championship, you get better the next year, Kerr said. If you keep going after that, it starts to wear you out. That 3rd year for us, trying to get a three-peat in 19 was brutally difficult. But whether I was a great player or now as a coach, you win that first one, there's a freedom that comes with it. There's an excitement, and that carries over into the 2nd year. That presents the Warriors with what Myers termed a high-class problem. Just 1 week after defeating the Boston Celtics in a decisive Game 6, the Warriors have decisions to make that could determine if they can keep the championship train rolling. When the 2022 NBA Draft takes place on Thursday, that decision-making process begins as the Warriors look to find some dependable young talent with their 3 draft picks at number 28, 51, and 55. With lead assistant coach Mike Brown departing from Sacramento to coach the Kings, can the Warriors find a suitable replacement for Kerr's coaching staff? Can the Warriors continue to rely on their star trio while nurturing young talent, James Wiseman, Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody? The Warriors will try to upgrade their roster by adding young NBA prospects to their team, just as they did in 2019, when they used their number 28 pick to select Poole, who has since flourished into a rotation player. But the same cannot be said when the Warriors used that same first-round pick in 2018 on Jacob Evans, who barely cracked the rotation. Consider that among all the number 28 picks in draft history, San Antonio Spurs guard Tony Parker represents the lone gem. Otherwise, the number 28 pick historically has featured 11 role players that lasted at least 10 years, 28 to play fewer than that, and 5 who have never appeared in an NBA game. A guy like Poole, it shows you how valuable it is to get it right, Myers said. The Warriors' success also depends on how much they make with what they have. After Curry, Thompson, and Green won their 4th NBA title together, Myers observed they're looking in pretty good shape now. The Warriors expressed optimism that Thompson will play more consistently next season after returning in the middle of 2021 to 2022 following a 2.5 years absence with injuries. And with Curry collecting his first Bill Russell's Finals MVP, Kerr is confident he can continue to lead the Warriors in future playoff runs. He absolutely picked in the playoffs, Kerr said. I think it's going to be harder for him next year at 35 and the following year to put together an 82-game season like he did 7 years ago. But in the playoffs, when you've got time off in between games and you're really locked in, this was the best I've ever seen him in terms of his two-way performance. As for the youngsters, they will receive clarity this summer on their potential. After playing sparingly during their rookie seasons, center Jonathan Kuminga and guard Moses Moody are expected to play in either the California Classic July 2nd to 3rd or the Las Vegas Summer League July 7th to 17th, possibly both. The same applies to third-year center James Wiseman, who missed his entire second season while rehabbing his surgically repaired right knee. Myers said all 3 could play significant minutes next season. Kerr will worry about the roster later. I'm excited for a vacation, Kerr said, but I'm excited to come back and coach again next year. That's because Kerr no longer envisions the Warriors falling short of an NBA title. This time, he might be correct.